but we're trying our best. We have a stadium now in place with seatings for the general public. We're trying to send out messages across that if people can't make it to the stadiums, they can watch it from their homes or from wherever they have access to the matches. And most importantly, it's about, the festival of Himalayas, whatever. It's about what matters inside the cricket field. So we expect a lot of good cricketing action, and this tournament is also going to be a preparation for Nepal heading up into the T20 World Cup. There are a few places which I'm sure with some of the national cricketers who are there currently in all of the 8 teams would want to stake a claim for their position in the national team as well. So all in all, a lot of good cricket that we're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. There were reports of delays and confusion over foreign player permits last season. How have you gone about it this time around?
I think we pretty much had to align a lot of people because in Nepal, the paperwork takes a lot of time. And I think for the first time, we got work permits for every person who came into Nepal. All of the players came in, and we went through. Even right now, the government and the Sports Council have put in a lot of effort to make sure that the permits are granted. And it's about all of the compliance that we're looking into. So we're trying to complete and tick off all of the boxes as early as possible.
Mr. Kharka, before we let you go, what are your expectations for the second season in terms of competitiveness, in terms of audience engagement, and the overall impact on Nepali cricket's growth and also global recognition?
It's about what we present to the world. Obviously, everyone's looking forward to how cricket in the floodlights is going to look like. But on behalf of CAN, we are trying our best to make sure that, we try and meet everyone's expectations. The important thing here is that there's going to be a lot of good cricket players that are going to come in, a lot of good experience for our young cricketers, international umpires, match referee. The broadcast is going to go all over the world. CAN is doing its level best to make sure there's quality in every aspect of this tournament. So there's a lot of investment that we are putting to make sure that the league gets global recognition. So it's about putting up a show. I think we're just into the second season. We shouldn't be too excited. We still have a lot of things that we need to manage at our end. But as of now, with all of the expectations around us, we hope we can live up to the hype of what the first season was and put up a great show and entertain everybody with great cricket.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on NTV World Primetime News, and wish you the best with the second season.
Thank you.
Well, that was Mr. Paras Khadka, Secretary at the Cricket Association of Nepal, speaking to us ahead of the much-awaited second season of Nepal Premier League. Now, moving on, Nepal has made a winning start at the ICC Women's Blind T20 World Cup in India, defeating Sri Lanka by 9 wickets in their opening match. Chasing a target of 88, Nepal reached it in just over 5 overs, losing only 1 wicket. Opener Mankisi Chowdhury starred with an unbeaten 61, while Vinita Pun and Sushma Tamang contributed crucial runs. Earlier, Sri Lanka managed 87 for 8 in their 20 overs, with Nepal's Kanti Yogi taking 3 wickets. The victory sets up a high-stakes clash with hosts India in their next match. The tournament also features teams from Pakistan, Australia, the United States and England, highlighting the growing global reach of blind cricket. Now on to tennis. World number 1 Carlos Alcaraz fought back from a set down to beat American Taylor Fritz 6-7, 7-5, 6-3 in a thrilling ATP Finals round-robin match. The Spaniard's comeback, which saw him save multiple break points in the second set, gives him 2 wins from 2 matches and puts him on the brink of securing the year-end number 1 ranking. Fritz, last year's finalist, took the opening set in a tie-break, but Alcaraz raised his game in the decider to close out the match in under 3 hours. Alcaraz now needs just 1 more win to confirm the top spot for 2025. And before wrapping up, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nepal gears up for March election. Election Commission reports record sign-ups. Prime Minister Karki urges youth to vote with conscience. At least 2 killed and 4 injured in a deadly crash in Sinduli. Driver detained as probe begins. Nepal and Oman set to sign first ever labour deal after 5 decades. Pact to ensure worker protection, insurance and legal employment for Nepalese in Gulf nation. Turkish military plane crashes in eastern Georgia, killing all 20 on board. The aircraft reportedly went down after takeoff from Azerbaijan. BBC faces scrutiny as Trump threatens a $1 billion lawsuit over edited documentary. UK to launch formal review of broadcasters' independence and mounting trust debate. And Cricket Association of Nepal gears up for the second season of Nepal Premier League, scheduled to kick off on November 17. Success of first season draws more international stars. That is all from NTV World Primetime News for now. Our next bulletin will be at 10 p.m, bringing you the latest updates from Nepal and around the globe. Do join us through our social media. You can also get the latest updates from our official website, nepaltelevision.com. I'm Sarah Sapsana Marai. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
The number of devotees collectively chanting, admiring and understanding these holy chants has reached 2 billion all across the world now. This implies that the population following Buddhism is increasing by the day. Buddhism rests upon the principle that one must be empathetic, kind, and exonerate towards all living beings. Love, brotherhood, and mutual harmony is the only way towards peace at present, when the whole world is entangled within warfare, fighting, and conflicts. Anyone seeking for peace can find it within themselves on internalizing the words and messages of Gautama Buddha. Gautama Buddha, also known as the Light of Asia, established himself as the preacher of Buddhism and enlightened the whole world with his message of peace, awareness, kindness, and wisdom. Buddha sacrificed his whole life urging for the need of truth, justice, and altruistic feeling within mankind. Gautama Buddha was born in Lumbini. It lies in the western part of Nepal in Rupandehi districts of the Lumbini zone. Lumbini has been protected under the World Cultural Heritage Site since 1997 AD. In the year 1896, the then senior officer of Palpa, Kharga Shamsher, and German expert Dr. A. Fuharer jointly carried out the work of archaeological excavation and investigation of Lumbini. After some period, archaeologists located the commemorative Ashok pillar erected by King Ashok of India during ancient period. With such facts coming in front, Lumbini caught attention of the people all around the world. Among the most significant heritages of Lumbini are Ashok Pillar and Mayadevi Temple. It is believed that Mayadevi gave birth to Siddhartha Gautam in 623 BC at the very spot where the temple is located at present. The then Mayadevi temple, however, remains only in the pictures and in imaginations. Renovation and repair works have already changed the original structure of the temple. Nevertheless, with the new structure, this temple has embraced a divine outlook in it. Not only the temple, but the whole Lumbini region is in the process of plan reconstruction and development. The visit of the then General Secretary of the United Nations Organization, U Thant, in the year 1967 brought together the notion of Lumbini Area Development Project. Under a master plan of the Japanese archaeologist Professor Kenzo Tange, the project was initiated in the year 1978. Lumbini Area Development Project Master Plan spreads in the area of 3 miles. Major attraction of this project is the Mayadevi temple premises. This holy garden has emerged as a peaceful, religious and spiritual hub as well as the center for tourists. This garden, located in the southern part of the temple, has assimilated a number of objects of archaeological and historical importance. The whole area appears magnificent, with a calm lake and beautiful parks. The temple displays numerous artifacts built in different centuries. These works shed light upon the historical importance of the temple. It is assumed that works of repair and renovation were carried out time and again since the reign of the Maurya dynasty till 8th century BC. The outer wall of the temple spreads 26 meters in the east-west and 21 meters in the north-south direction. During its excavation, 5 rooms in the east-west and 3 rooms in north-south direction were discovered. 3 of these rooms are square and the remaining 5 are rectangular in shape. There is an ancient Mayadevi idol showing the birth of Lord Buddha inside the temple. This idol is also known as the birth idol. The remains inside the temple date back from 5th century BC to the 7th century BC. Marker stone, alias birth stone, is placed safe above a Maurya period brick inside a deep room. This clearly depicts the exact place where Lord Buddha was delivered. This stone is around 25 steps north of the Holy Lake. Other evidential objects uncovered from excavations are kept as it is for devotees and other tourists to explore and to study. Ashoka pillar near to Mayadevi temple is believed to have been erected by King Ashoka in 249 BC during the 21st year of his enthronement. The Utkirna stone inscription engraved in this pillar in Brahmi script is a historical proof that Lord Gautama Buddha was born here. This is the most reliable historical and archaeological archive to learn about the birthplace of Lord Buddha as well as to explore Lumbini itself. A 5-stanza writing of 90 words written in Brahmi script, the first script that Buddha learned, is engraved in this pillar. Archaeologist Dr. A. Fuhara verified the writing in 1896 AD. This script attests huge and significant information about Lumbini. In the northern side of the Ashoka pillar lies Puskarini, or the holy pond. Legends say Mayadevi took the holy dip prior to the birth of Lord Buddha in this pond, and that baby Buddha too had his first bath. Architectural fragments of different size and shape collected from various excavations are protected in the southeast, northeast and western direction of the Mayadevi temple. On close examination of the temple, the tradition and technology of Maurya dynasty is revealed. Some monasteries are constructed using the remains of Lord Buddha, while some other incorporates the remains of his followers, and few others have been constructed in Buddha's reminiscence. These monasteries depict the then art, custom, religion and tradition. In the northern side of the Holy Garden, towards the center, lies the eternal peace flame, the peace bell and a 3-kilometer long and 16-meter wide canal. One can also view the World Peace Pagoda from here. The canal divides the whole area into 2 sections. Towards the eastern monasteries, 13 plots are designated to Thar Buddhist and 29 plots are allocated to Mahayani Buddhist in the western monasteries. In eastern region, various countries and Thar Buddhist organizations have constructed a number of monasteries following their native architectural texture. Myanmar, Sri Lankan, Indian, Cambodian and Thai government, including Nepalese, have constructed stupas and guest houses in these areas following the agreement with Lumbini Development Trust. Similarly, most of the western plots have been occupied with similar stupas, monasteries, guest houses and meditation centers constructed by various organizations or Government of Nepal, China, Vietnam, France, Japan, Austria, Bhutan and Mongolia, among other nations. In these monasteries, Buddhists perform their regular worship, enchantments and meditations according to their own customs. In the northern side of the new Lumbini village area is the 41.5 meter long and 49 meter cylindrical World Peace Pagoda. Fujiguru of Japan is said to have constructed similar pagodas in different locations all over the world during his journey of finding peace. World Peace Pagoda was designed by Japanese architect Dr. Minoru Ohuka. This pagoda came into operation since 1995. Built in traditional Japanese design, the upper part of this pagoda holds metallic artifacts exhibiting the birth of Lord Buddha. Lumbini Museum and Lumbini International Research Center are other important places to visit once one reaches Lumbini. These buildings, constructed in pagoda style, portray an architectural masterpiece in themselves. Inside Lumbini Museum, the archaeological remains found during the excavation of Lumbini area are preserved inside a large hall. One can easily gather information about the birthplace of Lord Buddha and the then contemporary society and culture exploring these heritages. Within the building, designed by Professor Kenzi Tange himself, Lumbini International Research Center has been established. More than 3,500 research materials and texts on Buddha, Buddhism, history, philosophy, knowledge and teachings of Buddha can be found here. For the visitors' comfort, the center has provided the facility to read texts on different languages, including Sanskrit, Chinese, Japanese, Turkmen, Burmese, Thai, Nepali, and Nepal languages. There is an easy access of air as well as terrestrial transportation to reach Lumbini. The nearest airport to Lumbini is the Gautama Buddha Airport located in Bhairahava. One can also take roadways from different cities of Nepal to reach Lumbini easily. Situated in northwestern side of Kathmandu, Lumbini is 327 kilometers far from the capital. From the Indian border Sunauli, it lies in the distance of a mere 26 kilometers. Visitors can find ample bus, cabs, rickshaws and other transportation means to explore the whole area of Lumbini. Accommodation in Lumbini is again not a big deal. There are a number of hotels, lodges and restaurants ranging from expensive ones to medium and cheap motels in the market area. Within Lumbini area also, one can easily find guest houses, monasteries and stupas constructed to accommodate the visitors. The overall development works of Lumbini is spearheading on the basis of Lumbini Development Master Plan. Lumbini Development Fund is effortful to accomplish Lumbini Development Master Plan and to protect and preserve the overall Lumbini area. If you are planning to travel the birthplace of Lord Gautama Buddha, the holy Lumbini, we cordially invite you to explore all these spots of historical and archaeological importance, all related to Lord Buddha. You can travel around to see the ancient palace of King Suddhodana, father of Lord Buddha in Kapilvastu, and the debris of the earliest capital of Shakya kings, Tilaurakot, still preserved with high importance. This palace is located around 27 kilometers far from Lumbini. Lord Buddha, as the prince, spent 29 years of his life in this palace. Prince Siddhartha Gautama abandoned the royal livelihood in search of Mahanirvana, or enlightenment. In the year 1898 AD, Indian archaeologist P.C. Mukherjee, following the description of Chinese traveller Hu Yansanga, and unveiled the unknown facts about Tilaurakot after his 4 months-long research and excavation works. He mentioned that the Tilaurakot Palace stretched in the area of 1,700 feet north-south and 1,300 feet east-west direction, was surrounded by walls up to 8 to 12 feet. The main entrance gate had Buddha stupas and monasteries in both the sides. All these buildings are under excavation and protection at present. Mukherjee has also maintained that King Suddhodana ruled his kingdom from the same palace. Hence, no doubt remains on the fact that the present Tilaurakot was ancient Kapilvastu. Archaeological debris as well as ancient palace and east-west entrance constructed since 4th century BC to 2nd century BC can be observed vividly now as well. Another historical site of Lumbini is Kudan, also known as Lauri Kudan, around 28 kilometers southwest of Lumbini. Myths have it that Lord Gautama Buddha met his father King Suddhodana at this very spot for the first time on returning to his hometown Kapilvastu after attaining enlightenment. Others say Prajapati Gautami, Gautam Buddha's foster mother, handed him Kayas Vastra at this place. Some others also claim that at this very site, Gautama Buddha's son Rahul transformed into Buddhism and turned a saint. Inscription held the existence of 4 walls and 1 buried well at this place. However, only 3 walls can be seen at present. According to Dewala Mitra, on the southern side of this lies one rectangular wall, and another wall has a snake temple on the top of it. In the largest wall, located at northeast direction, idol of Lord Shiva and the remains of other idols can be seen at the top.
Welcome to Declassified Beyond the Brief with me, Devendra Subedi. In this episode of Declassified, I am speaking to a youth whose journey from an aspiring management student to a leader, that too of a Genji movement, created headlines across the globe. Miraj Dhungana is one of the founders of a Genji movement in Nepal that was successful in making its voices heard in Nepal with unprecedented political changes in the country. In this episode, we declassify, we try to explore the Genji movement, the beginning and the achievements so far. Is there a risk of the movement and the gains disintegrating with the recent division and differences within the team? We try to find the answers. Welcome to the show, Miraj.
Thank you so much.
How it has been so far after the Genji movement, Miraj?
Certainly the life I previously had is not the same. I've had to make some lifestyle changes because this is something that was unprecedented, as you said. So yeah, things have been very different. Yeah.
Different in what sense? Your personal daily life or your overall management of yourself? Where did you find the basic changes happening in your life?
Yeah, I think personally also my life has changed. I'm not able to, wander in the streets as I used to before. And the government, the country, has also seen a massive change. That in turn has also changed me personally and in many other aspects.
You must be happy because that's what you fought for, that's what you initiated.
Yes, happy in a way, yes.
Now, you are the crush of the nation right now. Does that compliment you? How does it feel when you hear people saying, hey, he's the crush of the nation?
I mean, it was something I felt good about at first, but this has happened for quite
a few times earlier, but this time it's the nation that is crushing for you.
It feels good, but I am getting used to it, to be very honest.
Okay. Let's start our conversation with the Genji movement, an overview of the Genji movement that you initiated initially. Was the September 8th incident, whatever happened in Nepal, was that a movement or a protest or a revolution? What word would you say defines that day particularly?
So I would say the protest on the 8th incident was a protest.
Okay.
We're fighting against a system that was so, into the corruption, and we're actually fighting for the crippled government, the bad governance, the dissatisfaction we had for decades, the times we had been deceived. We were promised one thing and we were not delivered, and I think the frustration was building up. Young people decided to come out together to fight for what is right for the country, to fight for their rights. So the 8th day incident was a protest. Then the 9th was, I think, a mass movement because people saw young kids getting killed mercilessly. They were shot on the chest, shot on the head, So it was a very bloody incident that happened on the 8th. And then I think people from all the age groups, they came out because they could not take it, They could not take it.
I mean, we have heard publicly you and your fellow leaders of the Genji movement disowning the 9th September incidents and the vandalism that happened during the course. Do you mean to say that even the next day, that is the 9th of September, what happened, that was a sporadic let's say, people's chain reaction to the events that happened on the
It was certainly a chain reaction, I would say so, but I am not disowning it, and I don't think other people, other Gen Zs were leading it. I don't think they were disowning it either.
You mean to say you own the incidents that happened on the 9th of September?
Yes, we collectively own the incident. We don't disown it.
That's a pretty strong statement that you have made because in some, let's say, statements from the Genji leaders from various let's say, groups earlier, they said that was not our movement on the second day. Tell us more about, I just asked about the movement itself. Now tell me something about the origin. As far as I have heard and read, heard you as well in some of the other statements while you're making in other shows, that you were the one who initiated the movement somewhere in a digital platform.
Okay, what I would say is I was maybe one of the first and prominent voices to make people aware, to let them know, maybe the first whistleblower about this protest, yes. And my voice was very prominent. I think I was very widely heard, and a lot of people got involved into this movement because of all the content, all the things, all the voices I was putting out. So yeah, I think the origin, when we go to the origin, I think people had dissatisfaction with the government. We had been deceived multiple times. Our voices were not heard, and the country was in a very bad state. People had a very low standard living. We still have a low standard of living. Collectively, we have a low standard of living compared to other countries who have, the resources, but we are not able to utilize these resources as much as we wanted to. The government was not paying attention, and I think about the origin, I think previously people were able to, voice their dissatisfaction about the government through social media platforms. You had so much anger, but you could always put it on social media, and you could vent something out.
Okay.
But when government decided to be, take some autocratic action, like banning multiple social media platforms, I think that was the last thread, the final thread. When that broke, all the hell loose broke. People were now willing to come to the streets.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So you mean to say that the youth generation's voice was not heard, but for those who had been running the established institutions in this country, they said we didn't hear their voice at all. So you mean to say that the social media platforms, the digital landscape that the youths normally use, that was the platform where the voices were, and they did not take it seriously earlier. That's where the triggered, as you said, the last thread was the banning of the social media that triggered.
Yeah, it was the final thread, yes. But I wouldn't say this was the origin of it. The dissatisfaction with the government, the poverty, the lack of employment in our country. I think these things were the contributing factors. Now people had this raise the frustration inside them, and the social media platform banning was the final threat that set everybody free.
Okay. Were you very popular in social media platforms, like you have plenty of followers?
No, not at all.
How was that widely heard thing happened?
So no, not at all. So what happened is, I was not so popular, but I was in a way politically aware. For my age, I think I was politically aware. So I started making videos about what was the cancer behind the system. What was causing the failing government, the unstable government. We had government collapsing every 8-12 months. We didn't have a permanent government. So I was pointing out what was causing this, why young people of our age had to leave the country, why the massive brain drain, and why families had to be separated from their children. They had to go abroad to earn a living. So these were the things I was constantly voicing before 2-3 days of the protest. And I think people resonated with it, and I think because of it, they wanted to come, they decided to come. So yeah, I believe that my voices did make a difference and invited people to participate in this, a movement that would
Can I call it the awakening of a generation?
Yes.
That was an awakening of a generation.
I wouldn't even call it the awakening of a generation. I would call it the awakening of Nepali citizens.
Okay.
Not only the Gen Zs.
You have been blamed of being the person who filed an application at the district administration office to organize the protest on that particular day, on the 8th of September. So, being that one, we didn't see you in the protest. You were not there.
No.
I have heard you explaining these things to our viewers and to all others. Can you explain that particular day and your absence?
So the thing is, I was not the one who filed the application for the protest. I was not the one. And the second thing is, I'm actually really tired of explaining this. Now, we had multiple groups. Let me make this very short. We had multiple groups, and one of the groups, they had some kind of conflict with me. And they decided that they would hold a placard against me, calling me out. After all I tried to do, all the awareness and everything. After all I did, they were not in favor of me. But I did have other groups. I did have my other friends go to the protest. So, and the thing is, we didn't think that this would happen in 28 hours. This was historic. We didn't think this would happen in 28 hours, and I was planning to go the second day, but everything happened so quick.
Were you seeing this movement being as successful as it happened? Or you hadn't imagined this would be...
No, this was very unprecedented, to be very honest. But we did make history, and that is something.
All right. You didn't only make history, you became inspiration to the world as well. How does it feel now?
I wouldn't say I am the inspiration behind it. I think the whole of Nepal, the Nepali citizens, they are the inspiration behind it. It is. I think we held the record for the fastest revolution. That is something. And I know us Nepalis, we have got it in us. And it is very inspiring, yes, to the world.
My last question in this segment, why change? You have said a few things earlier. All right. What inspired the whole generation that was otherwise very indifferent to politics? You said you were aware politically. But what we find, most of the youths are very indifferent towards politics, the socio-political affairs. Why this change?
How I would like to say it is, there are two different kinds of people in a crowd. One are the frustrated ones in the crowd, and one are the politically conscious ones in the crowd, in the protest crowd. Now, frustration is something that can be shared by everyone. The frustration with the government. You see, no jobs in the country, bad living standard, no well-paying jobs, and all these things. So you see this, and you see government doing nothing about it. They promised us the world, they gave us nothing.
Is it not ourselves who chose these leaders earlier to govern us?
It is us who chose the leaders, yes. We chose the leaders on the basis of the promises they made. They promised that they would deliver, but they didn't.
So it's the lack of delivery and only promises, that's where your concern is.
Yes, lack of delivery.
In the second part of the conversation now, we talk about the achievements of the movement. How far, Mirza, have been your demands been materialized so far? You have had a set of demands earlier. Now, if you have to just, let's say, categorically break it down, how many demands have been met so far?
The primary agendas have not been fulfilled. We are hopeful about the government that they are going to be fulfilled, but the primary ones, the agenda for which we fought, have not been heard, have not been addressed. But we are very hopeful of the government.
Now, this brings me to the other question. This is a government you people have chosen to lead.
Yes.
Is the change in government the only solution to deliver? Or there should be a change in the system as well? The bureaucracy, let's say, that up to the grassroots level, the chain that is governing this system.
Definitely, the change has to be within the system. People, if the system is good, if the system is very strong, it is going to bind people. It is not going to let people to do any mishaps, do any corruption of any sort. But if the system is weak, it cannot bind people to the law or anything, no accountability at all. So I believe that it is the system what we are trying to change, and it is the system what we should change.
These are some big fundamental changes that needed for that. Can you just, let's say, give us your current thought on the Constitution? Is it where your fundamental demands are not being met because of the current Constitution?
Yes, of course, it is because of the Constitution, yes.
So, do you see the Constitution being changed by this government, or how do you see this coming possible?
So there are multiple ways of making our agendas, of addressing our agendas. We have tried through this government to try to change, to make constitutional reforms where there needs to be for a better Nepal. We have tried it, and now I think now we want to call every stakeholder of this movement to come for a consensus. We call every party, the government, I want to be very specific about the kind of Gen Zs we want to invite. We want to invite educated, politically aware Gen Zs. Not everyone. You cannot let a truck driver run a plane. You have to have a very capable Gen Zs. Not every Gen Z. We have to be very specific about that. So we want to have a consensus and come to an agreement that these are the very necessary constitutional reforms that has to be done, that has to be implemented, or the lives lost are going to be of no use. So we have to be very serious about it.
With the differences, different multiple groups coming up in the Gen Z circuit itself. And initially also, as per your explanation here, some were against you. That's why, to defame you, placards were being displayed there. So do you think with these sort of things going on within yourself, is it going to happen? Is this hard-fought achievement or the change going to be materialized?
Of course, yes. It is going to happen. It is going to happen, and it is upon people. It is upon people for whom they choose. They have to have this kind of critical judgment so that they are able to select not somebody who can speak. Everybody, salespeople are very much able to speak. But do they have content inside them or not? Are they politically aware? Are they educated? Do they understand how a country runs? People, us, we need to select these people, even from the Gen Zs, not everybody.
Having said that again,
yes.
Will there be another tussle among your... Now, we have heard plenty of groups have emerged in the Gen Z movement itself. Will there be another tussle within yourself to select those who are politically aware and those who are not?
I don't think there's going to be any sort of that serious tussle, to be very honest, because somebody, as I said, the criteria is somebody who is educated and somebody who is very politically aware, somebody who knows how to run a country. I think they and us, our fragment, Miraj Rungana's fragment, which is Gari Khana Dev, we have a very similar agendas. Now, these are the core ones that are going to change this country for better. So I think if people of the criteria I said, if they come forth, I think they are going to have a very similar agenda to us. There's going to be no argument or no tussle at all. Me being 25 years old, my parents used to say, you need to go abroad. There's nothing here. But I never wanted to leave my country. But I'm forced to, because there are no good paying jobs for somebody who is educated and somebody who can actually contribute to the economy. There's nothing. So our motto with this initiative is, so Gari Khana Dev in English translates to, let us live and work in our own country. So this is our basic motto.
So that's a campaign you're launching?
Yeah, that is a campaign we're launching, and we're very, we're very concerned about this massive scale brain drain. Population is a limited resource for a country as small as us. So that is a very concerning issue.
Now this takes me back to your earlier statement saying we trust the people, we want the people to make the change. So does that mean that you are eyeing for the next election and you trust the people that they would be now, they are, as you said, they have also awakened now and they will choose the right leader, the right people to run this country, and you would go and take part in the election?
No, election, we are not looking at election. We're not thinking about it. We're not looking at election. We want to do these things before the election. I know an election is very necessary to give a country, an international legitimacy. Yes, we're not against it, but these agendas of ours, these agenda of Nepali people have to be addressed before the election.
Can you be specific on those agendas?
There's a quite long list of agendas,
but let's talk about the fundamental ones.
Okay, the fundamental ones are, so we have a very unstable government. The government falls in 8 to 12 months. So maybe that is the reason why we are falling short on development and opportunities. So we want a very stable government So either that be a directly elected PM system or any system that would guarantee us stability. So we are pushing for a direct elect Prime Minister system, and we are yet to have a national level conference or discussion of a sort.
Because within this constitution, that's not possible right now.
It seems like it, but politics, as far as I've known, you can come out with solutions.
There can be solutions.
There can be solutions, yes.
Or interim setups, or,
yes.
or in case of a compromised setup, there
yes.
can be. It is a big ask. You have to bring every let's say stakeholders, including the established political parties.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
You're confident about it?
Yes.
Have you had an interaction with the leaders of political parties of late?
No, I have had indirect discussion with them, yes. Because we have to come to a conclusion. We cannot let, so many people have lost their lives now. We cannot let it go to waste and, be prepared for the elections. It cannot, it is not ethical. My ethics does not give me to do that. So it has to be done before election, because nothing is guaranteed.
It sounds as if, with the conversation that we are having, it's just the beginning of the awakening that we are talking about.
Yes.
It's a long road ahead.
It is. Okay, let us be more optimistic. I hope it is not a long way ahead. And I am in a way very confident that we can do this very soon.
All right, let's see how soon your agendas and the fundamental changes that you want would be materialized. In this part of the conversation, we talk about the envisioned future of this country. Well, Miraz, the desire to see a prosperous, booming Nepal, is it going to be a reality soon?
I think it is actually going to be reality very soon. Because you see, before this protest, before this movement, young people were not as politically literate as they are today. It has been 53, 54 days today. And I see, I see a lot of people hanging around reading the constitution and things as such, reading news. I think the prosperous future is very near.
The multiple groups that have emerged
Yes.
in your group, and initially they had said they are not interested in leading this the government or going into the government. Now, what I have read so far is that there are multiple groups coming. Some are going to the Election Commission to register parties. Some have already announced it, and they are bidding for the next election as well. Does it not contradict with the initial version of the Genji leaders who said they would not prefer to go and lead, they would leave it to the experts?
So, I cannot answer for everybody that were taking part in leading the movement. I can only answer for myself, and I think I've stood with my stance. I have stood with my stance. Yes, some have decided that they would directly go into the elections. I do not agree with them. I don't think that is something that my conscience would morally allow me to do. And it is, in a way, it is very sad that some of these leaders decided to be very open for elections, but we do not have the similar idea. We are not seeking for elections, we are seeking for our agendas to be addressed. That is the first priority for us, and that is going to happen.
You're confident
yes,
about it?
That has to happen. There's no way around it.
What plans, let's say, Miraz Dhongana gets a chance to lead this country now,
Yes.
let's say,
Yes.
or make his influence to lead this country. What exact changes would you make in this country, in the system of governance, immediately?
So the first thing I would do is I would make sure the government is stable. Either that would be by changing the system of government we have, maybe direct elect, or maybe something else. We can have a discussion about this, but we want a government that stays its complete term. So first,
people elected government that's stable, right?
Yes, yes. People elected government that is stable. Stability is the number one step. Now second is we are going to do substantial economical economical, we are going to have substantial economical progress. I think if people are prosperous, they don't need to go to some foreign country and be a second-class citizen there. The second thing is economic enhancement of the country. We have, we have 42,000 megawatt of potential in hydropower, and if we are able to realize the potential we can have hundreds of millions of dollars annually. That is a lot of revenue, a big chunk of our budget. We are yet to add it to our budget. And we can do very good in tourism too, spiritual tourism, adventure tourism, a lot of things, mountain climbing and everything. So these are very few things. If we do another segment, I could come up with the whole potential Nepal has. We are very filled with resources. Just the government has to be chosen correctly. Government has to be responsible.
So the onus is on the people again to choose the right people.
No, I would not say that is the case. I would say the leaders have changed their word after coming to power. The system does not bind people to stay inside.
Is there a guarantee that Miraj Dhungana, after being elected, would not change his words?
Hang me if I do.
At least Miraj has.
Hang me if I do.
But you can't speak for everyone. But for your
yes,
your
for
case,
me, I can, yes.
Okay, that's a very strong thing you are saying. So you're very committed to what you should say. The leaders should be like that, and the people should be aware to choose that type of leaders who do not change when they come to ask for the vote and when they reach in power. All right, very interesting conversation we are having with Miraj Dhungana here. In the last part hour or so, we talk about democracy and the future of political parties, because the Gen Z leaders and the Gen Z movement has often been blamed of attacking them. Let's see what their or Miraj's view is on that. Miraj, is the system that you people are advocating democracy without parties or with parties, or what sort of system you are advocating?
No, I think since we are advocating for democracy, there is in no way we are attacking the multi-party system. The country needs to have option about the leadership they want to bring. So we're not against parties.
So parties will be part of this system when the country goes into election?
They have to be, yes.
What if?
Yes.
I earlier also asked, did you have any interaction with the party? What if they reject your agenda?
Let's be hopeful. They agree for the consensus. If they don't, we have plan A, plan B, plan C. And if they don't, I think I'll...
Can you reveal your plan B
and C? I'm so
yet?
sorry, I cannot. These are very discreet, these are classified. As you so said.
We cannot declassify them.
We cannot declassify it. No. So sorry.
Very interestingly, there is a plan B and plan C as well in place. But you're talking about the stable government. That has been repeatedly in your rhetoric so far. Will that lead to the stable government? If you go to plan B, plan C again, this government doesn't work, let's change it. Now this also didn't work, let's change the other one. Does that address the same thing that you said?
No. The thing is a stable government in terms of governance system. Right now we have a parliamentary system where the PM is elected, and party, if they don't bring majority, they collectively make a government. So that is what is happening right now, and that does not give us a stable government. We are against it. We are trying to change the system where you have to have a coalition and there's always some party pulling the plug and the government collapsing again. We don't want that. We want a government to complete its term of 4 years and 5 years.
Even in this constitution and the current system, that's possible given that the party secures a majority.
Yes.
It's not impossible even within the constitution. So you mean to say that either a party, you get a majority and govern, otherwise you don't govern. Is it that what you're saying? To govern, you must have a majority, otherwise you can't.
So we are still in discussion about the nitty-gritty of it. So we have not come to a conclusion, we have not finalized it, but what we have finalized it is we are done with a system that gives us an unstable government. We want a stable government, and we are working on a system that is going to give us a stable government.
Ultimately, it's the people who gives the mandate in a democracy.
Yes.
Are you ready for that?
Of course.
But as you said, you need some fundamental changes before that.
Yes.
And that's going to happen.
That is going to happen.
So definitely you couldn't, let's say, explain to us your plan B and C, but you can explain to us how do you see that happening with all the stakeholders coming together?
What is happening is everybody is calling themselves a stakeholder. Now, as I said earlier, you cannot possibly ask a truck driver to drive an airplane. That cannot happen, you know, it is going to crash. So likewise...
So how would the people identify whether that's a truck driver or an airplane pilot?
Well, maybe we have a, you know, debate, a televised debate or something. You know, I cannot disclose exactly what we're planning to do, but that is going to happen is what I can assure you. That is going to happen. So that is going to happen by hook or by crook, but that is going to happen. The ones who are educated, politically literate, those people are very welcome, you know, to run the country. I think everybody, every citizen is going to have the same say. Somebody who is capable should only come, and that is going to be filtered out very soon.
So form of governance is a concern for you, more than the leadership, if I'm not
yes,
wrong.
yes, very. We are very much serious about the system rather than people. You know, people, they come of all shapes and sizes, but if the system is strong, able to bind them within the law, the country is stable, the country is prosperous. The living standard goes up.
If you allow me to ask, do you see the political parties that were running this country and the government turn by turn earlier revising themselves, reforming themselves and coming to the agenda of yours?
You know, my answer would be kind of similar as I said earlier. I cannot say for everybody, but I think, you know, to be able to go to people's door and to ask for them to vote them, they have to be able to show their face. You know, they cannot, I don't see any moral grounds they can step on and go to ask to go to people's door to ask for votes. They have to at least agree to something. You know, 78 people died, 1,500 are injured. The Singha Darbar got burned, Supreme Court got burnt. You know, it has to happen. Or what moral grounds do they hold? To go to ask, to vote them, to make to let them win.
Will they take the blame, or are you blaming them that you are responsible for all those things that happened?
No, I think we take collective blame, you know.
We all have to.
Yeah, we all have to take collective blame. There's no one single individual that can be blamed for this. True. There's no evidence to prove it, or nothing.
Your movement has been internationally seen and very closely monitored as well. And there has been a lot of blames at times as well of a foreign influence on that. Do you have anything to say on that?
Well, now if I say it would all be, you know, a conspiracy. So I don't want to speak about conspiracy. If I have, you know, evidence, I would speak about it, but let's not talk about conspiracy here.
My last question to you, Miraj. How do you inculcate hope in the people after all these things that have happened? Every 10 years, another revolution, another protest that changes the system, that asks for a change in the overall setup. How do you inculcate that pretty hope in the common people at this point of time?
So the way I, you know, I and my generation give people hope is the protest we did it out of, you know, sheer emotion. Some were politically aware, yes, but you know, we could not keep the dissatisfaction to us anymore. We did it out of sheer emotion, very true emotion. So maybe, and also the age, you know, we're people from maybe not so corrupt age. As you grow older, maybe you get more corrupt, but we are very sacred or pure until now. And if educated young people, literate young people, politically aware young people, if they come forth and they keep agendas that are collectively good for the country, I think people are going to be hopeful towards us. So I think in that way, I think we're going to give people hope in the coming days.
And the people should be hopeful and also be very wise when it comes to making decisions. That's pretty.
Yeah, one thing I want to, you know, the current situation is people are very critical, but they are not hopeful. And this is my, you know, my complaint with the society, or, you know, my complaint with the society, because they're very, very quick to label people. Somebody as young as me, I get accused of so many things. Now, I urge people, Nepali people, to be hopeful and not critical all the time. You have heard other people, you have, trusted the older leaders to change the country. Trust us one more time, or you don't trust and nobody is going to make the country. We have to be hopeful in order for the country to, be prosperous. I think I urge that to Nepali people, to be more hopeful than critical.
Thank you for your time
Thank you
and
so
your
much.
thoughts, Miraz.
Thank you
Good
so
luck
much.
for your future plans.
Thank you.
Well, we're having a conversation in this episode of Declassified Beyond the Brief with Miraz Dhungana, a youth who became an icon overnight. Do keep us following on our website, nepaltelevision.com, our social media platforms. For the time being, from this episode of Declassified Beyond the Brief, it's me, Devendra, saying bye-bye.